Now, in 1754, this whole area where I'm at now was entirely different. The French and the British had gone back and forth in a never-ending seesaw match trying to get control of the continent. This whole area, about an hour south of Pittsburgh, was referred to as the Ohio River Valley, and they had a very good trade with the native tribes, a lot of resources, a lot of good stuff in this area. Needless to say, the French and the British both wanted it. And what happened was the British sent a young officer who was 21 years old at the time by the name of George Washington. Sent him out to this area to talk to the French, and as a diplomat, you could say, and talk them into leaving, cut and dry. He headed out that way, but by the time he got out this way, there was a point of 3 different rivers where the French were beginning to build a fort called Fort Duquesne. It's at the area of the Allegheny, Monongahela, and the Ohio River, hence 3 rivers. 3 River Stadium for you longtime Steelers and Pirates fans. And building a humongous fort out there, and they couldn't do anything about it. So they decided to come here about 50 miles south to an area where I'm at now of a humongous open field and prairie where they could water their horses and do a lot of things in this area, this big old clearing. And what happened was the French, they wanted the British to leave too. And so they sent someone who was also a diplomat down this way to do the exact same thing. Sent him with like a few men just down this way to talk the British and ask them to leave. The problem was, out in the forest in this area, both the British and the French there's still great debate to this day about which side started it, because the French say they were there minding their own business. Next thing you know, they're surrounded by the British, who opened fire on them. And so the British started it. But if you hear the British point of view, they were slowly marching in on where the French were. One of the French officers called for an open fire, and so they say it was the French. And so what happened on here would be very detrimental to and very influential in what would cause the French and Indian War. Now, the French diplomat was injured during all this, and so Washington was not sure what to do about the situation when all of a sudden one of the Indian war chiefs comes up, tomahawk in hand. He's not trying to gross you out, but he opened up the head of that French diplomat and proceeded to but I don't know, but wash his hands in the brain of that French diplomat. Washington was horrified by this. Word of this got out, and not just there, but all across the world. And this would have a major effect in what was going to be going on soon coming out here next.